Otakuology Podcast with Otaku Mike and Jin Graves.
It's a new podcast. Yes, it is. Hello, welcome to the Otakuology Podcast. I'm Otaku Mike, here with Jin, who doesn't know wrestling Graves, as well as
I regret your choices of starting us off now.
Two very special guests, the Pixel Guy Sean and J Jones Live 2005, all the way from the Pixel Cast.
Whoop whoop.
You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Pixel Guy Sean. I am a gaming and wrestling nerd. I guess I'll just do background story. Me and Jay have been doing Pixel Guy stuff for about a decade, and yeah, we're starting to go over to the podcast world.
Yeah, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it only took us a decade, so yeah.
Right. Of him like pushing me, hey Jay, we're gonna do this podcast. Hey Jay, we're gonna do this podcast. Hey Jay, we're doing this fucking podcast. Yes, we're gonna do it.
Like, you're always like, man, I got big ideas for this thing. You just need to start it. I'm like, okay, right. Start it.
Yes.
Go.
So anyway, I'm Jay Jones. I am the co-host of the Pixel Cast and the host of Yes, This Is a Podcast, both available wherever you get your podcasts. That's right. I did a shout out on another podcast. And Sean and I have been somewhere within like television production, television entertainment, news, whatever, for like well over almost 2 decades, honestly. So, but we both like the WWE. In fact, on the Pixel Guys channel,
we did wrestling bets every.
We still kind of do them.
Yeah, granted, we slow down, but yeah, we do wrestling bets. So that's how much we love wrestling, is that we want to punish each other to extents. To Jay, from Jay getting hit with a chair, to me having to eat atomic tenders, or
to
Jay
me wearing makeup.
Yeah, Jay got his whole face made up by two girls.
Those pictures are still there, by the way,
and they're still funny.
They're hilarious. Cross-dresser? What?
No, we gave him full-on face makeup. He had lipstick, eyeshadow, mascara, some rouge.
Absolutely.
So did you make him actually look attractive?
Yes.
Well, it kind of just looked like Jay. Just kind of looked like Jay with color on the face.
It looked like me with color in the face. Okay.
It was red and sparkly blue.
I feel like you should have got him to do this and then go to karaoke dressed up like that.
I almost did, actually. I think it was a trivia night that night. And I would have stayed in that makeup and showed my friend Kristen, like, she would have fucking loved it. And I just pussed out on that, and that's my fault. I'm pretty sure if Sean had remembered, he would have been like, "Don't you fucking take off that makeup. You're going to go wherever you're going after this.
You can always get somebody else to put some more makeup on you, and you can just go out.
That is true.
Have a night on the town.
Always remember, diamond upside down is a pussy.
Huh?
You never heard that saying?
No. What is that?
Diamond upside down is a pussy.
It's also in the Ready to Rumble movie.
It's a Ready to Rumble movie.
Oh my god. Okay.
About DDP, who does the diamond cutter symbol, so he has the diamond hands. So a diamond upside down is your pussy.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Well,
we're already reaching down in the depths for some references.
I love that movie.
I love how Jen is probably like, "What the fuck are we talking about here?"
Anyways,
I am definitely doing that.
Anyways, guys, so we decided to do something a little different with the
We did.
podcast. Normally, we talk about anime and manga and comic books, and we were like, "Hey, let's talk about some wrestling." And we were like, "Let's." It's a spooky month, as in October, so we were like, "Let's talk about this
Spooky.
super scary movie, Escaping the Undertaker," about the New Day trying to steal the Undertaker's urn, pretty much. But this is a choose your own adventure.
It is.
So I
I
have
have
questions.
played those type of games.
I have a question
Um,
as that fan that
Okay.
doesn't know anything. So
Okay.
what's the origin of the urn?
Well, the urn in the, I guess, kayfabe wrestling sense is what gives the Undertaker his power. It was when they brought him out because his whole thing is Undertaker. He's tied to the dead. In a sense, I guess his WWE backstory is that he is undead,
Yeah.
and so like the urn has this power in it, and that's Paul Bearer carried that around, and that's how you control the Undertaker is through his urn.
Mhm.
May he rest in peace.
Yes, that is rest in peace and all that jazz. But
Okay.
yeah, but it gives off
Yeah, 'cause-
life. It gives him off his spooky lightning and smoke powers. It's all through the
So-
urn.
I
The-
have a quick question about the urn.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't what was the Godfather's other character? Is it Common?
No, the spooky one was Papa Sango.
No, the one after that.
But then that was Karma. That may have been Karma or Comma.
Common, I think it was. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
Comma.
Like,
The
kick
fighting
any
machine.
man's ass or
Yeah,
something.
the fighting machine. He's
Yeah.
going after
So,
that UFC crowd.
in WWE or WWF lore,
Mhm.
he took the urn and melted it down into a chain. Did the Undertaker take the chain and make it into an urn again?
I assume so. I don't think they ever did explain that, but his urn comes back. They used it in '96 against Mankind and whatnot.
Mhm.
Back right after the Nation started and all that.
Mhm.
So
So
Kama couldn't use his big gold chain anymore. So I guess they just got it back.
before we get into talking about this movie, let me ask you guys, what did y'all think when I was like, "Hey, let's talk about this interactive movie about 3 wrestlers going about and fighting a dead man"? Were you guys? What were you guys' thoughts about that? Do you like?
Well,
Ooh.
I'll-
Wait, pick me first.
all
Okay,
right, go,
pick you
Jen.
first. Pick you first.
Yeah, because mine won't be as long of an explanation. So I actually was thinking that because you were like, "Oh, it's kind of Halloweeny too." I was like, "Oh, okay," and I was thinking that because my brother's into wrestling.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it was the actual like the Undertaker going to be done up like an actual zombie, like the action figure line that they have.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh, this is going to be like a zombie movie, okay?" And I get into it, and I'm like, "This isn't a zombie movie at all." So,
Where did you even get the idea that this was a zombie movie?
Well, he's undead. He's undead, so technically
Yeah.
he is a zombie, right?
Well,
like,
yeah.
but like where he's like green and like skin's all ripped off, and
You're talking about the monster figures, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I was expecting it to
Wah.
be like. That's what I expected him to be like. And then we pop into it and he's sitting in a chair and I was like, "Am I watching the right thing?"
I thought you said you knew who the Undertaker was.
I do, but I was just thinking because Mike's like, "Oh, it's Halloween based," that it would be like him as the in the
Oh my
monster outfit kind of sort of. And I
No.
was like,
No, his whole character is Halloween based all year round. He's one of those
Yeah.
year round golfs.
which
Right,
I mean,
yes.
the only thing I ever really knew about him was that his brother was Kane. So I mean, that's kind of That's the extent of my knowledge, even though Undertaker is probably like my favorite wrestler. So.
He's only been around for 30 years.
Exactly.
So, Jason, what were your thoughts on coming in to do this podcast and talk about escaping the Undertaker?
I know you've been wanting us to be on the podcast to begin with, but then I saw the actual thing, and I like the idea of an interactive story. The only reason is because I like interactive types of things like that because I've done like Sean, have you played the Life is Strange?
Yes.
Okay, so that's basically what it reminded me of. It's just like playing Life is Strange, where you have to like you're choosing the fate of the story or whatever. Not a bad concept, but like you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sean?
Well, Jen clearly didn't listen to my description when we messaged in the group chat about this
womp
is
womp.
this is just like a Scooby Doo esque movie. And honestly, when I originally saw the movie, I was like, "What is this? Who's this for?" Because they're like, "It's the Escape the Undertaker," and I heard about it at work. I'm like, "All right." So I was like, "All right, maybe this will be different," because it was like Escape the Undertaker. Then I was like, "Oh, you're gonna help the New Day get through the Undertaker's house." And I was like, "What is this?" It's very Scooby Doo esque. And then you said you wanted to do a podcast about it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't know why this got greenlit in the first place, but if you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it.
Well, it was kind of like a spur of the moment thing because I heard about it on a podcast, and I was like, "This is interesting." So I went and I looked up the trailer, and I was like, "I gotta watch this and talk about this."
Fair enough.
Who are the two people I know that actually know wrestling? Because Jen doesn't know wrestling whatsoever.
Right.
That's true.
Yes, clearly,
That's
because
true.
he thought the Undertaker was a freaking zombie in this freaking this interactive show.
And so let's get in talking about this movie to be exact. Jen, do you want to lead us off and tell us how this movie starts out?
Yeah.
So much to say about it.
Yeah.
We like to go through the story and talk about it.
Go ahead.
So you kind of get a little bit of the Undertaker's backstory of like the urn and how it's been around forever and how he basically has his dark powers that come out of it and he's locking it down so that nobody else gets a hold of it because I guess he's supposed to have this forever. And then the New Day goes, with our power of positivity and the power of the urn, we'll be the strongest wrestling team ever.
Did you guys see the first on the first choice where it's like you're gonna go get the urn or you're too scared? Did y'all click the I'm too scared to start?
No, I clicked I'm ready. Let's go.
So
I never clicked those.
If you click
what happened?
If you click the I'm too scared to start,
Uh-huh.
credits roll and it's like it's like written by Undertaker, produced by Undertaker.
Oh my god. That's pretty bad.
Shot by Undertaker.
I love those subverting.
Well, so here's the funny thing. Mike and I kind of talked about it, and he goes, well, don't spoil it, but he goes, like, who did you pick to, like, follow most of it? I was like, I picked Coffee. And he goes, why'd you pick him? I go, he's the only one of the group that I actually know.
Hold on, Jen. Who is he?
Coffee?
It's Kofi.
Kofi.
I picked Xavier Woods. Who did y'all pick?
I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I went with Xavier because I was like, he seemed more focused on the task, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'll go with you.
Who'd you pick, Jason?
In my defense,
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I went between Kofi and Big E.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so none of us picked the other guy.
No, Jason said he picked Big E through it. I mean, you can switch back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big
Like,
guys stay together.
Well,
I picked Kofi at the beginning, and then I picked Big E to face his fear. I went back, and then I went and picked Xavier Woods' fear. I don't know what Kofi Kingston's fear was, honestly.
Yeah. So
his fear is kind of stupid, but
what was it?
Kofi's fear was basically like that he at any time could be like getting played by anybody, like that he wasn't good enough to actually like be anybody's friends with like Big E or anybody else, and that I guess they had a thing where McMahon or somebody else was sitting there like downing him, telling him that his style was not wrestling, and so it's like his fear of all this other stuff of
so they probably brought it back.
Yeah,
they probably brought it back to the time like right before he became WWE champion. Because they were doing
they took like a bunch of different clips and put them together.
Yeah, because Vince like really didn't in storyline. Vince didn't want Kofi Kingston to win the WWE title until he went through several different like matches and stuff, and then he finally won it at WrestleMania 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think so.
35. So
I can't remember, but that was Kofi was the only one of the group that I actually remember because I sat down and watched it with my brother and my friend when I was hanging out with them one time, and it was a tag team match with him and one other person, and so the only things I knew about him was he's the guy that doesn't touch the ground, and so I was like, okay, and then I'd see him in commercials and some other stuff, and I was like,
was it that Boost commercial? Not Boost, Cricket commercial, where they were talking about, oh, it's Kofi Kingston. He never touches the ground.
I think so, and he kept jumping off the walls, and then at some point,
it was that
it was like he got a slice of pizza, and you're like, what? It
was a pancake, and then he got onto the helicopter.
So, I mean, that's why, like, my whole story, like, I stayed with him the entire time because I was like, I don't really know anybody else.
So we begin with the New Day walking up to this mansion, or what we call it, the Undertaker's castle. I don't know what you would exactly call it.
Yeah.
The outside of this building just looks like they got the Bachelor Mansion and put a couple Undertaker things on it and called it a day.
That's true.
You
mean they called
his?
I think it
like
might have been
his place.
I think it might have been his house.
You mean they called it a new day?
Filmed it in Texas and filmed it at his place.
Yeah, from looking on the outside, I was like, come on, guys. You could have done better than this.
They wanted to get it done quick and cheap.
Probably, yeah. So they enter into the house. They don't want to go into the house, you know. And
no one does.
Yeah, we get our first 3 choices. It's go to the door with the bright lights, go upstairs, or go down into the foggy basement. What did y'all choose?
Right. So pointing this out though, I was a little confused why the story even took place as well.
Yeah,
because the power of positivity is positive, and knowing that from the whole like very first thing before New Day walked up, that the urn was evil, and I was like, wait, why are these guys walking up to get something evil when they have the power of positivity? I was like, this is like a weird like thing. So it was weird, that part of the story. I was like, I don't get this part, but you know, I just rolled it into like a what if situation. Yeah. What if they decided to get more balanced and not be positive?
I don't know. You know. But I chose to go down to the basement with Xavier.
I did the noises. I went upstairs with Kofi.
Okay. What did y'all do?
I did actually follow Big E on this. I went to the lights.
Okay. What did you do, Jason?
Who Who went down the basement? I followed them.
Xavier did.
That's right. That's right. It was Xavier.
So with Xavier going down into the basement, we'll kind of cover all of these. Xavier goes down into the basement and he can't get through this door, and he hears, I think it's Big E screaming, and he turns around and runs. I think the Undertaker's about to get him at that moment.
Okay, that's what happens too with Kofi. Is he's upstairs and he finds out some stuff that you get as you go further into it. But he hears the guy yelling and he runs back downstairs, and that's kind of where we see everything take place, I think.
Okay, what happened with Big E's choice?
Well, the reason he was yelling because he went up to the second floor and he finds like Undertaker's study room where the urn is, and he's all like, "Oh, look at this!" And you see the urn and you see the big throne, and he's like, "Oh, hell yeah!" He's like, he sits on the throne. He's like feeling good about himself because he wants to be like the Undertaker, and then like the chair like traps him, and then zaps him with like purple lightning, and that's why he's like throwing up or feels sick the rest of the movie. That's what that scream is.
And so the Undertaker's urn is slowly taking Big E's soul,
right? And so that and him being in the chair, that's what like initiated all this.
Yeah. And so after this, I ended up going back down to the basement, I believe, and like went through the door, and they go into a morgue. I don't know if y'all experienced the morgue.
No,
I did, yes.
My part was Kofi was pulling on the books, and he found out that there was one of the books that opened the alligator's mouth.
Oh, okay. Because I went down into the morgue, and this part I thought was really funny, where they go into the morgue and they're like, "The Undertaker has a morgue?" And Big E's like,
"Oh yes, I saw that part."
Big E's like, "Of course. He's the Undertaker.
He is the Undertaker.
Well, yeah."
And then, this part where they're looking around, and then they see a dead body, and the dead body is Isaac Yankem,
which
Kane's original character,
right?
And I'm like,
crazy.
Are they gonna lift it up, and he's gonna be Isaac Yankem? Like, is that
would have been cool?
But no, they didn't. And then I chose. The fog started to come up, and they need 2 keys to unlock the urn.
Right.
And I chose for Xavier to go over to get the key, and he gets taken by the Undertaker. And then
I went down that path too.
Yeah,
I saw that too. Like I think that happened regardless.
Okay, because then he gets beat up by the Undertaker, and Undertaker starts doing like some like crazy Street Fighter shit.
No, I think with Kofi, it's different though, because they go back to the study or to the library, and he pulls the book, and one of the shelves comes open, and he's trying to get their attention and say, "Hey, I'm going down the stairs," and they're like not paying attention to him, and he walks in, and then the Undertaker goes after him.
Well, see, I had that exact same scene happen after that, because Xavier gets teleported after he gets beat up. And they end up going to the library, and then that's when the alligator thing happens, where they, with the traps and whatnot. And
upset, I didn't get to see any teleportation.
And then I don't know what y'all guys chose, but I chose for Kofi to go through the bookshelf.
I went after the alligator.
Oh yeah, what happened after with that?
All right, so Kofi goes off into the bookshelf, and he's doing his thing, and you have Big E like on Xavier's shoulders, I think, trying to grab for it. And they're like, all right, this isn't going to work. And so basically Big E's going to boost Xavier up to like a pipe that's hanging off the bookshelves, the very top of the bookshelf. I guess it's the railing for one of those push ladders that they have in libraries.
Yeah.
So he like grabs onto that, and he like reaches in to the alligator mouth. It's like it slaps down on his arm, like it's biting him.
Yeah.
And you think he's gets hurt. He drops down, and he obviously pulls his sleeve over his hand. So, and he's acting like it bit his hand off, but you can see his fingers shaped in his sleeves.
Yeah.
And then he starts.
They did do a good job of that.
Yeah, he was screaming, and then Big E screaming, and he slowly pulls down the sleeve, and you see he has the other key, and they both start laughing. And that's
For a split second, did you think they were gonna bite his hand off?
Yeah.
No.
At first when I saw the alligator thing, I was like, oh,
Uh-huh.
something crazy is gonna happen with the alligator biting
Yeah.
down. And then that happened. I was like, well, that was not the payoff I wanted, but it could have happened. That's what at first it's like, hey, it could be this way because you don't know what's in this movie.
So when I chose for Kofi to go through the bookshelf, he
Mhm.
goes into the room where Undertaker's all his monitors are set up, his like security
Oh.
system. And you
Yeah.
start seeing like Paul Bearer kind of talk to Kofi a little bit. And I got this choice where it was like flee or wait for the Undertaker. And I chose to like wait and like fight the Undertaker. And Undertaker walks in, he has a plate and like a roast beef sandwich.
Yeah.
And he puts the roast beef sandwich down and like just kills Kofi Kingston.
Jesus.
Pretty much.
And he and it's like, okay, well, I got to start over because they made the bad choice, you know.
Mhm.
And then if you flee, you end up going back into like the library, I think.
Oh. Yeah, because at the very end of when they get the key, Kofi like comes out like a dumbwaiter, and he's like covered in dust and something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens after this?
Right.
Yeah.
Then we go back to the Undertaker for a second. He takes a bite of his roast beef sandwich.
He eats a sandwich.
He's like, I almost had him or something, and you're like,
Man's hungry.
the hell?
yeah.
See,
But
then
they do
Which-
end up.
Did
Go
y'all
ahead.
ever get like anything stupid that you wanted? So I like backed it up so I could see what kind of sandwich.
oh Jesus.
I was like, what kind of sandwich does the Undertaker eat? It kind of looked like a corned beef sandwich, so I was like, hey,
Maybe it was. I don't know if it was corned beef or roast beef. I couldn't tell.
let me back it up. I want to know what kind of sandwich this man eats.
Same difference.
I mean, there was only meat on the sandwich. There was nothing else.
Oh, I mean,
looked
yeah, it looked like an Arby's sandwich. As much meat was piled on it. I was like,
It's a deli style.
this man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Who knew the Undertaker ate sandwiches? You know.
Exactly.
Well.
This is like big news here, okay?
Yeah.
He's I guess he's a regular person just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
He eats sandwiches with a big
They
size
should
of
have
meat
played
in
it up. They should have played it up. Be like, I'm eating human flesh.
They would have. They do have to keep it for the kids though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm kind of forgetting. They unlock the urn, correct?
Yes, I think they make the like the key. They mix the keys and make the big key, and then unlock the urn finally.
They unlock the urn, and then they go into.
Did y'all have to go get the second key though?
I didn't
Yes.
have to get the second key. No.
Yeah,
Well,
because
mine had the first like the big bar things that were holding the top of it fall down,
Yeah.
and then there was a little metal ring around it. And it said, "Do you want to force it open, or do you want to find the second key?" I was like, "I'm going to find the second key. God damn it!"
yeah, that's how I got to the library.
Wait, I can't remember now.
Yeah, because I guess for us after the morgue when Xavier gets taken, when he gets back, Kofi and Big E had, at least for me, had the first key.
Yes. Okay, now I'm remembering it correctly. Yes, they had the first key.
And then when they unlocked it, the top part came down.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you want to keep looking around or do you want to just like force it open? And so that's when I was like, oh, I'm going to look around. And that's.
Which, did anybody try and force it open?
I didn't, no.
Okay.
Nope.
Did y'all?
I didn't either.
No, I figured it wasn't going to budge. It would just be them for like 5 minutes, like yanking on it, and then nothing happens.
Jason, did you try to force it open?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Well, because after that is when we get into the fear
face
part.
your fears.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
this is the part I had to do my first back step because I accepted the powers of the Undertaker or whatever, and then
oh, come on.
Kofi gets possessed.
You joined Undertaker?
Yeah, and then because I was like, oh well, I'm trying to get the powers anyway, you know.
So I I decided to stay loyal to the New Day, and I chose Xavier Woods' sphere. And Xavier Woods' sphere is basically being buried alive.
Yes.
Okay.
Same.
And he is in a coffin as the Undertaker is slowly putting dirt on his coffin, and you see him like he's like,
Oh my god.
you know, that's his sphere is slowly being buried alive.
So do we know what the other guy's fear is?
Big E's?
Yeah.
I don't
Big
know.
E's is spiders.
Is-
Big E's is
Spiders.
spiders. Like he had like, you ever seen Fear Factor, and they have like this like big old like
Like-
this case that's around your head,
I think
Yeah.
like
it was
the
that kind of like look like Saw kind
Yeah,
of.
Saul has something like
Yes,
that too.
yes,
With water.
Yeah.
yes. So like you open up the scene and he's like, the camera, files around. You see spider
Uh-huh.
webs and spiders and whatever.
Yeah.
And so I picked, Big E needs to stay loyal, and
Mhm.
so he starts bringing in more spiders, and Big E's just like,
Oh god.
Jeez.
That's pretty good.
So
No.
after
So, but y'all didn't ever decide to go with the
No.
Undertaker?
no,
Okay.
So what happens?
Yeah.
so
Uh,
after
Well, with that, if you do it, at least with Kofi, he actually becomes possessed, and his eyes go purple, and you have this little like monologue from the Undertaker that said, "This is exactly how it always happens. Anybody that tries to go for the urn, your soul is always taken because of the powers of darkness. Always like good souls or something."
It's crazy.
So, yeah, and then it makes you like basically make the decision to back up.
kind of like what he did with like Midian and Viscera, how he changed
Oh yeah.
them.
Oh yeah, back when
Yeah.
they were doing the
Yeah.
the Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
Because I think they even used the urn back then as like part of it. Like
maybe.
the Undertaker will satanically like say words, and they bring the urn out, and then all of a sudden,
I remember they took like Mabel, and he became Viscera,
yeah,
and then I don't remember who Midian was.
he was Phineas Godwin.
That's what it. Yeah,
Uh,
okay, that's what it was.
Phineas O. Godwin. His initials
Yeah.
spelled hog. No,
Yeah.
pig. His initial Phineas I. Godwin.
Yes.
So after they face their fears, they all wake up in coffins, get out, and they see the urn. If I remember correctly, and the Undertaker's there, right?
Yeah, he's a little banging on his little thing there.
And this is where we get. He's really. I don't know what he's making, but he's making something.
Right.
And we get this scene where they're fighting or getting ready to fight the Undertaker, and they're like, you have to pick who's gonna fight, and the Undertaker like takes off his coat and then takes off his hat.
Yeah.
Because he had to do the little entrance
God.
thing with the eye.
I like the Undertaker, and I know people age, especially if you're undead, you age really fast, right?
Right.
This guy's hairline is very unforgiving. It is receding so bad.
It's like halfway up his hair at this point.
Yeah.
Halfway
is.
up his head.
I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god. You're not wrong.
I was like, oh my god.
I think
And then,
he shaved it for one of those WrestleManias where he had like a
Uh-huh.
hawk, and I guess
Yeah.
it just never came back.
Maybe, I don't know, because throughout most of the thing, he has his hat on, his hair's braided.
Right.
Yeah, the
But when we
back.
get to this scene, his hair's not braided, and he should have left the hat on. I'm just gonna say that. When
Well,
he took the hat off, I couldn't really take him. I mean, I couldn't really take this thing seriously to begin with. But when
Yeah.
he took the hat off, I was like, okay, this is you broke the illusion for me. Like, this is just an old man
Oh my god.
trying
Yeah.
to act.
We're not gonna talk about his little gimp suit he had going on there.
He did have kind of like a gimp suit going on.
Because
Looked like-
he normally has his wrestling attire, but he usually
It's like-
has leather pants
And like tights, right?
Yeah, he's got his
Yeah,
like a tight
or the vest that he wears
top.
sometimes.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
like a tight top, like a
Yeah.
wrestling tights top, and he
Yeah.
has his leather pants
Yeah.
and the vest and the hat and his MMA gloves.
Yeah.
But they put him in some kind of like, if you ever
It's like a
play,
vest of some kind, right?
it looked like it was a full on like whole thing. It may have been just like it may have been like a kind of leathery straps vest, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Like
it's black.
and he had like maybe like did he have like his undershirt, was his undershirt leather kind of thing?
I think it was all leather. Yeah,
Okay.
they went a little very leather daddy Undertaker
Yeah.
going on here.
Yeah. Yeah, when he took off his jacket and stuff, and I was like, "Oh man, the Undertaker is clearly out of some shape." Like, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, "Man," but I thought this scene was pretty ridiculous. I made Xavier go up and attack Undertaker at this moment, and he like kind of just started beating him up and whatnot. And
Yeah,
what did y'all guys do?
pretty much the same.
Pretty much
The
same thing.
Kofi
Same thing
kick.
happened.
Yeah, Xavier.
Yeah, Jason.
I went with Kofi, and then after I
Uh-huh.
went back and chose the other fear, I went
Uh-huh.
with E.
Oh, so for Big E to attack, did y'all get the secret potion,
Oh
Yeah, the
yes,
power potion.
the power potion?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I totally forgot about the power potion.
Oh
Yeah.
I forgot to mention it, but yeah, at one point, Big E gets a power potion.
It's in that library right before
it's in
they
the
start
library.
trying to get that alligator.
And so they have
Yeah.
this fight with the Undertaker, and this is where I feel like they should have spent more of the money in the budget for the fight scene, because when Undertaker starts to levitate,
Oh yeah,
it looks really bad.
it does. It's like
It looks really bad.
you might as well just kept the strings in there while we're at it.
But so I chose for Big E to drink the power potion, and I chose to destroy the urn.
Same.
So
Mhm.
if you destroy the urn, they end up going through a coffin and coming outside. If
Mhm.
you take the urn, they just teleport outside next to the coffin, and you don't get the urn regardless.
Yeah. I think that's what I did was I teleported
Okay.
outside.
Okay, what did y'all think of the fight at the end?
It was very hokey.
It's very okay.
It
Jason?
was.
I have no words.
I mean, come on. Obviously you do.
Like it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't. I like WWE did better when they did the Undertaker versus AJ Styles.
Yeah.
You
That
know
one
the
was good.
the the bear not the burial. Well, basically
Oh, yeah, the
his
boneyard
last
match.
ride match.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Boneyard match.
Boneyard match. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Jen, what did you think?
It was it's pretty weird.
It was something, right?
Yeah, like, and like I know like most like wrestling stuff is pretty like fake anyway, but this is like 10 times even worse than that.
It was pretty
because
hokey.
there is like a form of like realism.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like you have to have muscle, you have to have, because part of the stunts are real that they do.
Yeah.
But this one, I was just kind of like, this.
I have to say though, I did like the
This is
part
bad.
where like they were at one point they were all down and like, or they were, I think they were maybe choking Big E or something. I can't remember what exactly happened. And Kofi comes out of nowhere and just like beats the shit out of the Undertaker with like a sign or something.
Yeah, it's like a stop sign or a metal
Yeah.
circle or something.
I just like
Yeah.
beats the shit out of him. I was like, oh yeah, go get him, you know. But yeah, they don't get the urn at the end, you know. I guess the power of positivity still wins. You know, it's better than the urn.
True.
But
I wouldn't exactly say that. It just kind of seemed like it was an even
yeah.
trade off,
But as a whole, what did y'all think of this experience?
I think for like if they're gonna do more of these as a opening, like gambit of these type of movies for WWE to produce on Netflix.
Yeah,
it's a good start. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure kids are gonna love this. Kids who love the New Day are like, oh, this all this zaniness. Like, as for all of us
yeah,
who
older.
are adult, cynical,
Adults adulting.
cynical adult, you're like, oh yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah,
But as a vehicle, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I think they just need to do better because, as you pointed out, Undertaker's was not in a very good shape, so they basically had to do Hollywood court, I guess, fight
yeah.
quicker,
Yeah.
fight. I can't think of the word. Fight.
Choreography.
Yeah, fight choreography. Thank you.
Yeah,
They had to use Hollywood fight choreography, which does not suit the WWE studios or whatever
Yeah.
whoever produces to
Uh-huh.
do. So they need to, if they're gonna do more wrestling interactive stuff, they need to make sure the wrestlers are in shape so they can
Yeah,
that's
do
true.
more
Which
better stunts.
I feel like it probably would have been better maybe with a different set of wrestlers.
Well, the thing
Like,
is, I thought the New Day were fun in this.
Yeah.
I thought they were really
Right.
fun. I thought their jokes were funny as hell. Like,
Right.
because I mean, but I thought you could probably have boosted up the production value and made his actual place a little more spooky and scary.
Yeah.
True.
Well, I mean, like what I was saying earlier, like I felt like I did like that. I like the joking
Yeah.
aspect of it. I thought this did a lot better instead of being scary as a comedy.
Yeah. Oh no, it is funny. It's very much like
Yeah.
Sean said, Scooby Doo esque. You know, I also
But
felt like it was.
I had the problem of like what I said earlier about why they were there originally. Like it didn't exactly make sense for them to try and add the power of the urn to the power of positivity.
Yeah.
Like I said, I felt like it would have been a lot better if they would have picked a different wrestler and went a different route and maybe kind of cut out the fight scene, because I feel like that's really where they were trying to lead up to, was a good fight scene. And I feel like if they would have sprinkled it through, like maybe a punch here or something there, instead of like putting all the eggs in one basket for the final fight scene, it would have been better. Like if one of them would have thrown a punch and then ran off away from him,
Right.
or something like that. Like it would have been a lot better. Or just them put in a different situation than why they were originally there for. But I mean, you could have taken virtually almost any other wrestler. I feel like that was either closer to being a heel or kind of that one of those borderline characters that flip flops, and definitely put them into the situation. I feel like maybe what's the singer rapper guy?
That
R-Truth?
No, because R-Truth hadn't been there for a while, right?
He's still there. He just hasn't been on TV.
Okay. No.
John Cena?
No.
His name is John Cena.
Yeah. No, he's newer. Like he started out with music and then went into WWE.
Bad Bunny?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Bad Bunny.
I think it would have been a lot cooler.
Bad Bunny is not a wrestler.
He only did it for that 1 month.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It was basically just a build up to WrestleMania.
Okay. I thought he was actually there. Okay.
No, he was sadly just to get some Latin viewers.
But I feel like it would have made it look really good if they did something like with him, where it's like, oh hey, my claim to fame wasn't what it should have been or whatever, and he was there to get the urn because he wanted that like fame, notoriety, and
I could see them possibly going with maybe like The Miz.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the Miz and maybe John Morrison. That would have been fun. But
True.
I enjoyed this. I mean, watching it was ridiculous, and going into it, I was going to be hokey and ridiculous. Like, I watched this with my daughter, and she loved it. She thought it was fun, So
Yeah.
obviously it hit that target audience of children,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it more as like a critical eye, but I still had fun with it, even though I thought the production value was a little low.
Yeah.
Little low.
It was very low. Okay, it was very low.
Well, it's
There you
more
go.
like I think they probably shot it in one Hollywood lot in one day, because they had this big house, and you really only
Yeah.
see the hallway with the stairwell in the basement,
Uh-huh.
the surveillance room, the morgue, the library, and then all the individual like set pieces, like where the basement or I guess the other coffin basement, and then the outside, like the Fear Factory kind of stuff. So it was like,
right.
let's get this done in 2 days.
Watch us find that out, that this is actually all stuff that was built for like a haunted house.
Like, there were things that I actually liked, were like when Kofi goes into the monitor room and like we see like the inner cuts of Paul Bearer kind of talking and stuff. I thought that was really cool and well done.
That's fair.
And when Undertaker came up with the sandwich, I lost it. That was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
I was like, of course, and then I get beat up and whatnot, But that last fight, man, that was
that
was hard. I mean, I really like the history aspect of it, because I like where when we started out, we kind of got the history of the Undertaker a little bit, and like I said, with Coffee's fear, whenever you're actually talking to him, whatever.
Coffee.
Whenever you're talking to him and stuff, and they're playing these old scenes from where people told him like he wasn't good enough and all this other stuff like that. I mean, I felt like that was really good, especially because I've seen part of that with part of the matches. So I thought that those were really good, because it lets you get to know the characters a little better.
Jason, what do you think? You've been quiet.
It was okay, honestly. Like, yeah, I get it's targeted more to kids.
Would you watch?
I think they could have. I would watch them because I have no time on my hands, or I have too much time on my hands. But not like, oh my god, I have to see it. I have to see it. I have to see it. More of like, oh, it's there. Okay, I guess I'll watch it.
You could finally say that you've watched a new movie that we've all watched.
Oh my god.
Broaden your horizons.
Oh my god. Well, I would have to say that out of the other like kind of story movie things like this that I've seen on Netflix, that this was one of the better ones.
The only other one that I've seen was Bandersnatch, and that one was really good.
I was looking up interactive on Netflix as we were talking. They have You versus Wild, where you team up with Bear Grylls. And then they have a Minecraft interactive Baby Boss.
Minecraft?
Yeah, the Minecraft story mode, like because Minecraft has a whole.
It's the I think they took the video game. They took the video game, like put the cutscenes on there.
Yeah, the old like the story mode cutscenes. They put them all together and have this. But there's some. If you want to hang out with Bear Grylls, you can hang out with Bear Grylls on Netflix Interactive.
The Black Mirror one that I watched was really good.
See, one of the ones I saw was Shrek, Puss in Boots, and it wasn't.
Oh well,
there was that in a fantasy-based one, and
the Black Mirror one is like longer than this Undertaker one. It's like over several hours. Like it has multiple choices and stuff, and it's the production value is very good. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's about a video game developer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's good. Which, I mean, do y'all think that maybe that was the reason why this one is good? Because that's one of the problems that I have with a bunch of these, is it always feels like there's one true storyline, and no matter how the water runs, like it always dumps you back into the center. to follow it down.
Maybe, I don't know, because I played a bunch of like choose your own adventure video games. Like I played
Right.
the Walking Dead games. I played a Wolf Among Us. I played like the Batman game. It's like that. And a lot of those, like my choices kind of mattered, and they would affect the game. They would affect the story.
Right.
In this, it was kind of like my choices didn't really affect the story.
Right.
Sure.
That's kind of what I was saying.
Yeah.
It all dumps you back into the middle, so
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay. Well,
because like
either-
when I was playing, like I was playing the Wolf Among Us recently, and I didn't feel like I made any wrong choices, but I still had a good story,
Mhm.
And I went and played it a different way again, and like I still had fun with it,
Mhm.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I thought it was okay, it was. I had fun,
Mhm.
with it. I would watch
Yeah.
another one.
I think I think that would be my synopsis to it. It's fun. As I said earlier, just need to as you said, need to up their game, just
Yeah.
like story or production value wise on it. But like for a sit down, put on, have fun with your kids, or if you have, in my case, I have nephews.
Yeah.
Like if you want to sit there, you want to just not turn your brain off, but just kind of put something in the background.
It's short too,
Yeah.
It's like 30 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if they had other ones of these that y'all would do, like what are some other ideas that you feel like would be better besides this kind of Halloween Undertaker's Mansion one?
Well, they don't really have that many supernatural characters anymore. They're all real based, so they don't need.
Yeah.
So supernaturally wise, it only be like the Undertaker. Yeah.
I want to see Undertaker, Kane, and Papa Shango team up and have like a slasher movie type of scenario.
All right.
Like where I don't know if those are only three like supernatural people. Can we throw Mordecai or Kevin Thorne in there, or Gangrel?
Well, you probably have better luck with Gangrel than Mordecai at this point.
And maybe like throw a couple of wrestlers in there and do like a slasher movie or something like that. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I think they could probably go more. They could probably do it with people at home, or I guess real people, not make it supernatural, but like I guess it would be more like
throw the boogeyman in there.
Yeah, or just like, hey, we got to get to the AT&T Center or the Staples Center in LA, and then you do a choose your own adventure, kind of getting them from A to B, and then they can just have some wacky adventures on the side, like
a road trip. Like a road trip kind of movie, yeah.
Yeah, or they foil like a robbery by mistake, or they run into like some people.
Or we can put them all on a deserted island.
True,
like Lost.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You mean like the Stone Cold movie, The Condemned?
Yeah, like the Stone Cold.
Condemned or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would like to see more.
Yeah, I want to see him take another crack at it. Definitely do want to see him take another crack at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to wrap this up, Jen?
Heck yeah.
Go ahead, guys, and plug y'all stuff at the end again. Plug y'all stuff, and we'll be releasing this on Halloween, so special episode.
All right. So we just plug it right now?
Yeah, just plug it right now.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'll do the YouTube and Jay can do the podcast stuff. On the YouTube, we are bringing back some older classic episodes of the Pixel Guys at the youtube.com/thepixelguys with a Z. We'll be showing some of our first episodes. So if you want to cringe at how awkward I am, or see how
oh my god,
how skinnier Jay was and how bigger our friend Cody was before he lost weight. You can see all of us fluctuate and as we grow up to where we are
Fluctuating
now.
age
And size, because I
and
even got
size.
fatter too.
Yeah.
We all got fatter or skinnier. So you see us go from this. That's when it
Our
all started
evolution.
going. We all started mature. Our bodies started maturing. But we'll be releasing some of our classic episodes. You can go on there and see us play video games. All of our Fortnites with Mike and Jen here. They're on there too. Or the ones when I join, at least.
Yeah.
And then Jay, plug away.
So be sure to check out our podcast. Sean and I do, and probably Cody if we can finally get him on. We do the Pixel Cast. We talk about all types of stuff. We actually have a few new episodes being released. Are part of our second session called Controversy Tube, where we go over the controversies of YouTube. I also host the Yes, This Is a Podcast.
Wait.
Yes, that's the title of it. It's called Yes, This Is a Podcast.
Is Controversy Tube different from Toxic Tube?
Yes.
Toxic Tube, we talked about toxic people on YouTube, and this Controversy Tube is about just the change,
overall
like
controversies.
big controversies that affected YouTube as a company / platform.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
But yes, this is a podcast. Anna and I have several episodes already. I'm looking to add another host for some more episodes because we go a completely different route on that podcast versus what we talk about here on the Pixelcast.
Kathleen should join that one. That way you can you can have Kathleen
That will
on
definitely
that
not
cast
happen.
and
She won't even come on with us.
All of us need to have a podcast, so she needs to be on that one.
Otaku Mike volunteers his tribute to be co-host of Yes, This Is a Podcast. Otaku Mike volunteers his tribute.
We just gotta not yell at each other.
There.
This is the Yes, This Is a Podcast, Don't Yell edition. Okay.
So turn the
Don't
volume
yell
down.
challenge.
So turn the volume down.
I can be very controversial if you want.
Oh my god.
We know.
Yeah.
But anyway, those podcasts are available anywhere you get your podcasts.
Yes.
All right, Mike. Plug us real quick.
We will hold on. We will drop links down below in the description so you guys can find them. And then if you go over to our YouTube page, Otakuology, we'll put their channels and stuff in the featured thingy down below. I don't know what I had a brain fart. But
thank you.
Yes.
Goodness.
And thank y'all for having us on. This has been fun.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
We did the thing.
Podcasting with us is fun. You get to be our second crossover. First crossover was with Planes, Trains, and Comic Books. Shout out to them. They're fun. Right? They're fun guys. Yeah.
Right. Fun guys.
All right.
Yeah, we will.
And do we want to say the ending altogether? We can.
Oh, do you guys want to say the ending? Do you know how we end the podcast?
How do you end the podcast?
It's been a while.
We say see you next Tuesday.
Oh, ha.
And as always,
that reference during the fortnights. All right.
As always.
Okay.
Let's do this, guys. Together.
1, 2, 3.
See you
next Tuesday.
Have fun
see you next Tuesday. I know y'all wanted to hear me instead of them. Bye.
Bye.